Hello, good morning students. Today we are going to continue the chapter last lesson. Students, the last session we saw about the concept, about the background of the war, Franco-Prussian War. As a result, France was defeated and he had to give two districts. First was Alsace and second was Eastern Lorraine. And in fact, in these schools, especially in education, in school, the writer Alphonse Daudet has tried to present the effect of this authority means two districts went under the authority of German means Prussian army. Now today was the last day when the French lesson was going to be finished, and from the next day only German language will be taught. Now further we see the story. This chapter, it had one character, Franz. He is a student, and here he is the narrator, a storyteller. Here he is the narrator, a storyteller. So he had described how the students of this area are not so much interested in their study. He is a symbol of a student, and through his performance or activity or interest, the teacher M. Hamel is the French teacher. He has tried to present the interest of the students, the interest of the parents towards French language. So first of all, we have seen Franz, the narrator and the storyteller. Before going further, at first, dear students, I would like to tell you, but I can say, rather, I would like to repeat it, that there are two aspects. First, reading habit. First, reading habit of the chapter, and second, word power. I have given you in the first session the word in the sheet. Today also I have given here on the board. There are some words like recite, to speak or to say loudly, all throughout, mixed up, got confused, beating, throbbing, put off, delay, pretend, show off falsely, greatly, enough, logical, here reasonable, guard, safe, hold fast, hold tightly. But I have given you 15 words in the sheet. You will read it and you will learn it with your commanding position, with the spelling also. So these were the words we did here in this chapter. Now, dear student, one thing you must know: if you command over these words with the spelling, it will be better. It will be better for you people to command over the language. Now, before we saw Franz as narrator or a storyteller. Next, the second main character is the teacher M. Hamel. He is the French teacher at school. He is the French teacher at school, and he is very much concerned towards teaching, but sometimes he is also lacking some qualities. We will see it later on. According to M. Hamel, who is the teacher of French language, according to M. Hamel, French language is the most beautiful language. French language is the most beautiful language, and this is the most clearest language. This is most reasonable language, and this knowledge, the knowledge of this language, the people or the students, they ignore it. As regarding a student, French, he says that French ignores study. He ignores coming to school. Why? Because French takes interest in a natural activity, in the activity of birds, in the activity of river, in the activity of other natural aspects, rather doing study purposely or honestly. Here, next one, M. Hamel, who is the teacher, according to him, he gives the response. What he gives the response? About French. He gives the response that French is neither in the position to speak French language nor he is in the position to write French language. Means French comes here in the school, but he is not interested. Even French has accepted that he got the homework of participle. What is participle? Participle is the part of English grammar where V1 is changed into V3 or V4. It is called participle. Present participle, verb plus ing, past participle, V3 as an adjective. So here Frank has accepted that he himself doesn't know about participle. So weak he is in his French language or other language also. Now here M. Hamel says that the weak position of French language of French or English students, not only the students are responsible for it. Not only the students are responsible for it. For this, the teacher as well as parents are also responsible. How? Then he says about himself. M. Hamel says about himself that he had sent his students, friends also, to water in his garden for his flower. Means he engaged his students in his personal work. Not only this, when he had the willingness of going for fishing to the pond, he used to give holidays to the students. So M. Hamel said he himself is responsible for this. And when it is a matter of, when it is a fact of, the parents are also responsible for this. Why? Because they prefer sending their students, their sons, they prefer sending their sons to the farm or mill to earn some money in comparison to sending their sons for study in school. So parents are also responsible. M. Hamel himself accepts that he is also responsible, and students, they are also responsible. Means all the three, students, parents and teachers, all the three are responsible for the weak position of a student in French language. So here we have seen these things. Now, today French starts for school. In the middle, he is deviated Why deviated? He is deviated by the natural activity of birds, natural activity of river, and also other natural activities. But he thinks he should go to his school. He starts for school. In the middle of the town. In the middle of the town means near town hall. Near town hall, there is a bulletin board. There is a bulletin board. In every town, there is a bulletin board, and here also in this district there was bulletin board on which for the last 2 years means 1870-71. Last 2 years, bad news regarding the war had been coming because France was getting defeated by Prussian army continuously, and that was the result. These two districts were given under the custody, under the authority of Prussian army. So here, on the day of last French lesson, there is a classroom. In classroom, on his position near board, M. Hamel is standing. He is going here and there, and all the students are sitting. But there was one unique situation. What was one unique situation? On the back bench. On the back bench, normally it was empty. On the back bench, normally it was empty in normal days. But today there was old officer, there was former mayor, and there was former postmaster. Those were, and other also old people were sitting on the back benches. Why they were here? He was surprised, very much surprised. They were here to pay respect to the teacher, because M. Hamel has been teaching for last 40 years, and these old people had also not paid attention consciously with full awareness to French language. So they had come here. Now, first of all, the teacher M. Hamel gives the information. What information he gives? He gives the information that the order from Berlin has come that today after 12 o'clock, there will be no teaching of French language. Means the whole area will go under the custody of Prussian army, and only German language will be taught to the students. Okay? So, what were the difference? First difference, there were old people at the last of bench. Second, the teacher was very restless on his position. And the third most important part, it was, see, normally, in the normal days, what were the situation of the school? The situation was that the sound of the opening and closing of desk, the sound of the opening and closing of desk, the sound of lessons repeated in unison were very loud, and also the sound of teachers' great ruler rapping on the table. These were heard. Means there was a word had been given here, a great bustle. Means there was commotion and noise in the classroom. But today everything was quiet, everything was silent. Means it was peaceful position. So this was the difference today in comparison to common days, normal days. Means this day was like Sunday morning. Okay? Now, there was one more difference also. But the difference was this, that the dress of M. Hamel was not normal today. It was like prize days. It was like a revision days. How his beautiful green coat, he had worn green coat, frilled shirt. He had worn frilled shirt. The little black silk cap. His cap was little black silk color, black silk, and all there in the right. Means this was also the changing in the dress of M. Hamel. Means what were the changing? Number one, the position. Everyone was sitting silently. Second, M. Hamel was not rough. He was very liberal. He was restless. Next, three main old persons and other old persons were on the back benches, and also it was in the mind of, this thought was in the mind of every person presented there, that today after 12 o'clock there will be no French lesson. French lesson is going to be denied. French lesson is going to be banned, and after 12 today the German language will be taught to the students or to the people of this area. Although this area was French area, but now under the effect of the defeat of French under the hands of Prussian army, this was the main effect. So we have seen today, students, we have seen today the very first page, we have seen the very second page, we have also seen the third one, and in fourth one also we have seen how M. Hamel gives the responsibility of not only students but also of parents and himself also for the poor position of the students. So students, here this is the picture. You can see like this. You see there are two districts of Alsace and Lorraine. These came under the authority of Prussian army because France got defeated in 1870-71 in Franco-Prussian War. So we have seen the upper part of page number 7. We have completed the upper first paragraph of page number 7. So the next session will be the concluding session of this chapter. The next session will be the concluding session of this chapter. In the next session, we will see what we are taught. What we are taught that day by M. Hamel to the students, and what were the reaction, what were the response of the students as well as friends also. And then we will see the finishing of giving farewell, bidding farewell to French language. So in next session we are going to finish this chapter. Dear students, it is better for you to read the 1 to 6 pages more and more, minimum 3 times, so that you may have problem and you can ask. One thing more from my own side, individually from my own side, dear students, I will try to say, please take interest in doubt clearing classes, because your presence in doubt clearing classes is very low. Only 1 or 2 students take interest in this, because I have given you the fact. When you see this video, when you read the book, and then when you create a doubt, and in that doubt clearing classes, it will be clear that you will be benefited, and when you are benefited, we will have great confidence that we have done a little for you, dear students. Okay, for today it's all. Have a good day.